Greetings, this is Black Light. So far, you have been misguided with the exception of two or three leaders. So most of your leaders at this point in time got you looking on the outside of yourself instead of within. You want help in this critical time to come from an outside source instead of looking within. That's because this is the way you've been taught. It ain't your fault. It's mainly the fault of your parents and your ancestors. Some of you that are viewing this were fortunate enough to have the right guidance from your mother and father. They gave you the root or the basis of yourself uh, through wherever they got their teachings or influence from. But should you look on the outside of yourself for guidance or on the inside? If you haven't been taught that, you can't really answer that because you don't know. You can't compare. But if you have been taught it and you compare, well, then you can answer it honestly. I'm gonna also ask the question of where's your roots? Where are your real roots? And most of you will say, well, this goes back to Africa. No, your real roots goes back to you. Where does a root begin? A root that makes a tree, and tree that makes fruit. Where does it begin? It begins from a seed. Seed produces roots. The roots produces a tree, and the tree produces fruit. And within that fruit, there's usually seeds. And so it keeps multiplying and multiplying. And so there was a quote in the Bible saying, "Be fruitful and multiply." Not be fruitful and die, but fruitful and multiply. So you ask yourself, what's happening now? People dying around you, not just through the coronaviruses, because they was dying from different things before that, from cancer, from all types of diseases and shotgun blasts, bullets, car crashes, ODing on dope, plus the elements was taking them out. You know, the elements, tornadoes and earthquakes, and the animals was taking them out. Snake bites, dog bites. Because we allowed ourselves to be influenced by the wrong sources. So when we were captured by the Caucasian, and he started building the country up, he made a book, or not a book, but a constitution. And we wasn't included in this. Because while he was making this constitution for himself, we were his slaves on the plantation. We still on the plantation. But then when he freed us, he called us a freed slave. In other words, you're not confined to, you're not chained to a particular location, or confined to a particular location. You could go all over the United States now. But he made the United States a big plantation. Like it's a global plantation now. You see. Now if you've been following my videos, you'll see where he's an empire all over the globe. He's controlling things everywhere. And our people, our mothers and fathers and grandmothers, they just didn't know where he was going because they held us back from education, reading, writing, all that for 300 or 400 years. And while he's studying our books that we had over in Alexandria, and they are now scattered in key locations like the Library of Congress, over there in the Vatican. So we were separated from our roots. So a seed had to be reintroduced to us in the form of Master Farad Muhammad. But he came in disguise so he wouldn't be recognized and stopped. So he would cross enemy lines, inside enemy lines, went to Detroit. Now Detroit is under siege right now with this virus because the people here in Detroit had 20 years when Mayor Young was mayor to really control the whole not the whole United States, but the whole state of Michigan. When you look into the Supreme Wisdom book, it tells you that. It was giving you measurements and everything. But the brothers, so greedy after this dollar bill, they didn't recognize that the Caucasians were switching up money on them. So now you see this dollar bill right here is a silver certificate. This dollar bill right here is a Federal Reserve note. And some older brothers, when I was very young, I was hanging out with some older Muslim brothers who wasn't in the temple. And I was saying, well, why don't, I say we can still get our own money even though we are dominated in this culture and in this country by the Caucasian. He said, no, man. He said, for one thing, our people are not thinking on the same wavelength. They off. And for another thing, that he who controls the gold controls the money, how it looks and everything. Because the United States is sitting on a mountain of gold. And it got you thinking that this paper, I don't care if it's a silver certificate or a Federal Reserve note, are worth as much as that gold they sitting on. That's an illusion. So he's controlling this epidemic or pandemic with the illusion of money. And ain't nobody hip to it. You see, your leaders, our black leaders, care who it is that's teaching you now, that's leading you now. Instead of them coming together, they like gatekeepers for your enemy, the Caucasoid. You know, I care if it's Farrakhan, I don't care who it is, because they all after that, either that prestige or that money or something. They're not thinking. They're not together right now. Even those who follow the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, they're not consulting with each other. You know, they're coming out on how to lead our people out of this. They still, you know, in that old frame of mind. They're not thinking fast enough, or either they are gatekeepers, an enemy for the Caucasian. So that's why we coming to you now. See, God ain't in no building. He ain't in no church. Half our people going to the church. They don't know if the virus is amongst them or not, but they gonna go take a chance because most of them are following the white preachers. They're telling them, you gotta go to church. No, God is not in the church. He's anywhere you are. That's where God is, because He's in you. Got 12 powers, and they not to be taken lightly. So that's what I've been doing all along, trying to help you to yourself. But y'all don't want y'all buddies to know, because y'all would tell them that I got something powerful that I'm going to tune you up on. And you got to press that like button. See, because when they see I got low numbers and low likes, you know, they not going to tune in. See, we need unity right now. And it might help some of them, you know, wake some of them up. And then y'all could join forces and be on that same vibration. The other day, I made a statement on one of my videos. If we focus our vibrations in Trump, and make him tell the truth, and then after he tell the truth, make him stop babbling, I'm going to show you a video, a news where Fox heard him babbling, and he did tell the truth about things. He said, we don't own this country because it belongs to the Rothschilds. And then I'm going to show you the video where he stopped babbling. So stay tuned for that. See, vibrations can be effective. They could be like a laser beam. This is Black Light saying, stay tuned for the next one.